Okay, there we go. Okay, hello guys. If you don't know, my name is Taylor. I'm super excited to be talking with y'all. So let me share my screen. Maybe, how do I do that? Share screen. Oh yeah. Whoa. Okay, can y'all see this? Like presentation thing?
Yeah.
Present. Okay, so I'm so excited to talk to y'all tonight. Just navigating postpartum because it's a beast and I feel like it's not talked about a whole lot. And so I'm going to be super conscious of your time, going to blow through these slides without trying to overload you too much. And then I have some other moms in here that are going to share their stories too. So you can relate. But if you didn't know, my name is Taylor. I have three kiddos, and I'm currently in my third postpartum journey. All three postpartum journeys have been so different, and this one right now has been my favorite. And I don't know if it's in the easiest in a sense, and I don't know if it's just because it's my third one, so I've kind of figured it out a little bit by now, or if it's how I prep for it, but or if it's just a gift from God because my toddlers are insane. So, but I want to talk about my story specifically of when I just had my daughter. So I was 2 months postpartum with a 2-year-old, and we were in the summer. I was a teacher and coach. I was home like all day, and my husband was at work. And I was just exhausted and irritable and didn't feel like myself. And I was so frustrated. And I knew something had to change because this was not what I wanted out of motherhood. This is something I had prayed for so long, and it just didn't feel like what I thought it should be like. It wasn't all joy. And so I remember talking to my friend Jordan, and she was in a similar season of life as me. Her kiddos are like 1 month from mine, and her season was just so different. And so she was kind of talking about some of the struggles that I had and discovered like a little bit of a root issue with it. And so I got started on her gut health regime that she recommended, and within 2 weeks I noticed first off the bat that my sleep got so much better, and that was such a miracle in itself because you don't sleep. And then my energy slowly started to come back. I started to feel like myself again. I wasn't as angry, specifically at my husband. And I knew I could never look back. Like these are products I needed to be taking every single day. And so now, what a full circle moment. I get to share this with other mamas and just see if it's something that they can resonate with, or if not, just help them have a better postpartum journey. So I'm so glad you're here. Okay, so let's dive into the not so fun side of postpartum. So I feel like this was not talked about at all. Like there's no welcome book about this. When you decide you're going to have a baby, no one warns you about how exhausted you are, but you can't sleep. The mood swings that come out of nowhere, the brain fog, like what is thinking? You went from being a functioning college person or job person, and you can't do anything now. Digestion, bloating, constipation, cravings, they were so much worse for me postpartum than with my pregnancy. My hormones all over the place, and you just don't feel like you yet. It's not you. It's very common, but they're not things you have to deal with, and they are all related to our gut health, surprisingly. So, why am I so emotional? Mood swings, anxiety, irritability. You are not going crazy. So, your gut and your brain are constantly communicating with each other through the gut brain axis. And so, imbalances it can cause like whenever you have your good like bacteria in your gut, imbalances of that can cause a risk of anxiety, depression. I gotta move my little screen over here, and brain fog. Also in your gut, 90% of your serotonin is actually produced, and serotonin, if you didn't know, is your happy hormone. And so whenever we have disruptions in our gut due to antibiotics, stress, poor diet, which are like hand in hand with postpartum and pregnancy. It can decrease serotonin production, which makes it worse for postpartum depression, anxiety, mood swings, sleep disturbances. And then after we have a baby, our body's hormones drop so fast, and a struggling gut, it just sends it on an emotional roller coaster. But a healthy gut can help steady the mood and make that not as unbearable. Why am I tired all the time? So, whenever your gut is off, your estrogen can pile up, and that can leave you feeling tired, foggy, off balance, no matter how much sleep you get. And if you're like me, you're not getting sleep. I mean, let's be real. And so, let's look at these three main hormones that affect how we function every single day. So, estrogen, as girls, we obviously have estrogen, and we have a gut bacteria in our stomachs called estrobolome, and that helps break down and clear excess estrogen. And so, whenever our gut is off balance, it can't do its job. And so, that leads to high levels of estrogen, which can cause mood swings, fatigue, weight retention. Cortisol is our stress hormone, and when it is off balance, it causes anxiety, low energy, poor sleep. And so our gut, when it's balanced, can help regulate that cortisol and calm the stress response. But when it's off balance, then it can just send it into chaos. And then I didn't know if you know this. So, thyroid, a lot of women after having babies actually start struggling with their thyroid and have thyroid issues. And so, when we have thyroid imbalances, it can cause brain fog, like metabolism issues, extreme fatigue, things that are like walking a line with postpartum, like the normal days of raising a baby, but then also little signs that something's not right. And your gut actually supports the hormone conversion that helps your thyroid function like it's supposed to. And so when it's off balance, your thyroid's not functioning. So you can see there's a lot of things that kind of go hand in hand with our emotions and our hormones. And that's why you see a lot of like balancing hormones and all of that like starts in your gut. Why am I still not healing? This one was really cool. I didn't realize how much of an impact this had on postpartum recovery until I was making this. But 70% of your immune system lives in your gut, and that is essential for fighting off illnesses, which is super important with a newborn, reducing inflammation in your body, the puffiness, recovering from birth, whether it was vaginal or a C-section. And I don't know about for y'all, antibiotics make a huge impact on your gut as well. And so, like for me, my first two kiddos, I was GBS positive. And so, a round of antibiotics immediately. If you've had a C section, you've had a round of antibiotics, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. That is normal within the labor and delivery process. But it could be like your gut microbiome, all the good bacteria has been flushed out of your system. And so, it needs a little TLC, which can lead to possibly why some of those symptoms are just so heavy. Also, if anyone is breastfeeding, your milk does pass your immunity to your baby. But whether you breastfeed, bottle feed, combo feed, it doesn't matter because your gut health still matters for you. And that's what we're focusing on right now. Because when you are well as a mama, everything gets easier, and a thriving mama means a thriving baby. And that is our focus. Um, so what can I do about it? So when I was talking to Jordan, she was like, let's look at your gut health stuff. And I didn't do anything. I did not take a vitamin until I got pregnant. I did not take a probiotic until afterwards because I just was like, I'm fine. I don't need this. And so this is where I started. And so this triplex is a 3 product combo. It's a Slim Bio Cleanse and ProBio. And these products work together to rebalance your gut, support hormone recovery, and give you more steady energy in the thick of postpartum life. And so the Slim is a pink drink. I'm sure you've seen mine all over social media, maybe some other friends of yours. And its job is to balance blood sugar, which reduces inflammation, helps with mood swings, stable energy, clear thinking, regardless of how much sleep you're getting. And it has a prebiotic in it that will help those good gut bacteria thrive and support your hormone and recovery. So it does a lot. BioCleanse is a gentle magnesium cleanse that relieves bloating and constipation while continuing to flush toxins out of your system. And that's going to help support your hormone balance and get you better sleep. And then the ProBio 5 is a probiotic that restores the good gut bacteria, which is essential for after antibiotics of any kind. And it'll break down yeast, reduce brain fog, and cravings and skin flare ups. And so that's a simple 3 product combo that targets the gut and goes hand in hand with just helping you thrive on a postpartum journey. Like I said, that was gonna be super fast, but at the end of it, I just wanted to make sure the message of like, you don't have to just get through postpartum. And you may be sitting there and be like, I don't struggle with any of these, and that's amazing. That is the goal, like just to help as a mama, as a woman, as a human being, just feel your best so that you can go out there and do the Lord's work, whatever that looks like for you. And so, yeah, that is my story. Does anyone have any questions? No? Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing. And then we have a couple girls here that I'm so excited about that are gonna share their stories with you. Brittany, would you like to go first?
You bet. I did see someone unmute. Did you have a quick question?
Oh, no.
Are you sure? Okay.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
looked like you were going to say something. I'm just saying.
Just like this is real chill. If you have a question, like throw it out there, girl.
She's like, no, actually,
Yes.
y'all leave me alone.
Okay. Well, sit on it. If you decide you want to ask anything later, you just let us know. Hi guys, I'm Brittany Duke. And I, first of all, like Snaps for Taylor, I loved all that information. I am a really big nerd. I'm a physical therapist, and before I started these products, those were like the questions I had. I was like, what is this stuff? Is it safe? Can I take this? Right after I started products, I actually got pregnant with my second kiddo. And some of my first questions were like, can I keep taking this? And so all of those things she just went through are so helpful, just so that one, it makes you feel great about putting these things in your body because they're all natural and they're good for you. But it's also so that if you're ever sharing this with other moms, you can be like, let me just tell you, this is the best stuff ever you can be doing for yourself and your kids. So thank you for those facts, Taylor. Loved them. I'm going to touch on just like a couple quick things, guys. One for me is constipation. I don't know if y'all ever get constipated when you're pregnant or when you're postpartum, but hormones can do that to you. For me, it was a combination of things. It was hormones while I was pregnant, and taking triplex, the stuff Taylor was just talking about, completely alleviated constipation for me, which I literally have no shame talking about this, meant that I did not get hemorrhoids for my second and third pregnancies. So, yes, I just talked about hemorrhoids. Also, postpartum, I am a 3-time C-section mom. And so, whenever you do that, go through C-sections, you're obviously on pain medications. And they give you stool softeners, and y'all, they don't work. I can just, without a lot of detail, my first C-section postpartum, it was so uncomfortable to go to the bathroom for the first time after those pain meds. And with babies 2 and 3, when I was consistent with my triplex, I had no issues. And I actually was able to go to the bathroom before I even left the hospital, which was a massive, massive deal. So for me, big one right there, just constipation. Also, second child, just chilling right there. It's fine. Um, then my other big win was truthfully just the fact that I was able to reach for healthy hydration during breastfeeding. And so what I mean by that is like our pink drink is so good for balancing blood sugars and for helping things like milk supply. But we have awesome, wonderful drinks like our electrolytes, and even like having that clean energy drink that's not riddled with like awful crazy amounts of sugar. I felt so confident knowing like when I was dying of thirst breastfeeding, I had all these wonderful options to choose from. So that was the other favorite parts for me postpartum. Then other things that don't involve products, guys, is this community surrounding myself with postpartum was so huge because we're not complainers in motherhood. We talk to one another and we're honest about it, but then we're like solution oriented and we're like, you got this. We pep each other up. We get each other excited. We're like, hey, what if you went for a walk? Being in a community of people who are health minded is huge for you in your postpartum just recovery. So I just want to encourage y'all that even if it's not the products that are your initial excitement to get started, know that you have a community backing you, which is sometimes like the best thing for you as well. So that was super fast. But thanks for having me. And I'm going to pass it to the next person.
I mean, I was kind of constipated too. Anybody else here like constipated postpartum? Okay, just so we're all on the same page here. That was actually one of the reasons I started this. My name is Jordan, and there's two of us. There's two Jordans on here now. I think one of us might actually be at dinner. The other one of us looks homeless, so it's fine. But I started this 8 years ago, and I was super constipated, you guys, after my second baby, and I couldn't lose weight. I was a college athlete, and I was like, what are these like pounds that wouldn't go anywhere postpartum? And so those are really, y'all, those are the two reasons I started. And so I was just like, give me what you got. I don't even care. I was not like Brittany and needed all the things. I was like, just help me. But one of the things that I've loved about this is, do y'all, anybody here nurse? I actually saw iPhone 367. She is nursing, I think, but I could not nurse my first baby. And I had no milk supply, and I had no idea that your blood sugar was tied to your milk supply until I started looking into it. And I actually have a nurse friend who started Plexus with me, and she was like, hey, I think you might be able to nurse your next baby. And I was like, what are you talking about? She was like, there's a tie, like there's a tie between the two. I'm not going to get all sciencey on you, but she was like, I'm excited to see how this goes. And you guys, I've nursed my second, third, and fourth babies. I had a milk supply. It was great. And I haven't touched Miralax in like 8 years, which is a beautiful thing for me. And Taylor, you didn't tell me to touch on this, but I'm going to, because a huge part of what Plexus has done for me postpartum is that it has given me time with my babies. I started sharing about Plexus in 2017, and we hit a six-figure mark inside of Plexus annually. We hit that about 3 years later. And I'm not going to talk about dollar signs now, but I'm just telling you guys, I've retired my husband now. He does full-time ministry. The amount of time I have with my kids is the biggest gift that this has given me, other than going to the bathroom every day. So, all that being said, like, I'm a lifer. I'll be here forever, and I love it. And I love sharing it with moms. I mean, I love sharing with dudes too. I really love sharing this with moms.
That was so good, Jordan. Thank you. Okay, Haley or other Jordan. I think she's at dinner, so she's just listening. Haley, you want to go now?
Yes, I can go. So I am Haley Rona. I have been with Plexus a little over a year. I think it was like a year in February. Yeah, so a little over a year. And so I actually was on the products for about 6 months before I got pregnant with my second baby. I got pregnant with my second baby and got off the products. We were in the middle of moving to a different town, and I just couldn't afford it anymore. And I was like, I'm just going to get off. It's fine, whatever. And so I got off. So I gained, with my first pregnancy, I was a full-time hairdresser. So on my feet all day long, working all day long, and I still gained 60 pounds. I gain weight super easy. I swell so bad during pregnancy. So even on my feet all day, working full-time, I still gained 60 pounds. Before I got pregnant with my second baby, I still had 30 pounds of pre-baby weight to lose that I never lost. Got pregnant with my second baby. I gained about another 30, so another 60 pounds total. So anyway, fast forward to 4 months postpartum with my second baby. I had ridiculous hemorrhoids. I mean, they were so bad, guys. I went to my 6-week appointment after my second baby, and I told them my issues, and they took a look, and they're like, yeah, this may require surgery, honestly. Like, it's bad. She was like, it's only been 6 weeks. We'll give it a little bit more time, but if nothing else works, let us know and we'll schedule surgery. And I didn't want to do surgery. I was breastfeeding at the time, and I was like, it's probably going to affect my supply, all the stress. And I was like, I just don't want to do it. And so 4 months postpartum, I started back on the products. Within the first week, I was using the restroom with no pain. I called my sponsor like in tears. Like, I just pooped with no pain. I was like, it's only been a week. Like, what is happening? And then within the first month, I mean, it was completely healed. I mean, and I've had no issues since. So that was really big. That was a really big thing for me. Also, within the first 9 months of being on the products, I've lost 50 pounds. So got back. Not only did I go or meet or get back to pre-pregnancy weight, I passed my pre-pregnancy weight, which I just never thought would happen. So that was really huge for me. And it's also just been like the easiest sustained weight loss I have ever experienced. I mean, I can go like 2-3 weeks without tracking anything or working out. If I'm consistent on my products, I will not gain a pound. It's absolutely crazy. I was also breastfeeding my second baby, and he had slight colic. It wasn't terrible, but he was just grunting and spitting up when he would sleep. And so when I got on the products, I noticed within like the first 2-3 months of me being on the products and breastfeeding that it was helping him as well. He stopped having really bad grunting and spit up, and he was sleeping through the night so much better. So I really think that helped him as well. There was one more thing I wanted to touch on. Oh, I am currently 7 weeks pregnant with our third baby. This is my first pregnancy.
Bro, did people know this?
No. I mean, Haley and like Allison and all them know, but
this is amazing. Best day ever. Okay,
yes.
keep going.
So this is my first pregnancy, obviously being on the products, and guys, the night and day difference this like first trimester has been compared to my last two is absolutely insane. I mean, I've had no issues with constipation. I have so much energy. We're in the middle of moving again, and yeah, we're just always on the go. We have chickens and quail and bunnies and dogs. I mean, we're just constantly busy, and it has not slowed me down one bit. I actually helped a girl a few weeks ago order some active. She is also in her first trimester, and she was asking me if like the products were safe to take, and I was like, yeah, I'm actually in my first trimester too, and I'm taking everything. And she was like, what the heck, like I watch your stories, I watch your TikToks, I post on TikTok pretty much every day. She's like, I watch all that. She's like, I would have never known that you were pregnant in your first trimester. She's like, you have so much energy. She's like, I'm dying over here. So we got her some active orders. She's going to be good to go. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just been night and day difference. And I'm so excited to see how the rest of the pregnancy goes, especially with my swelling and everything that I usually get. Weight gain maintenance. I'm really excited to see how all that goes, and as well as postpartum. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Haley, that's so exciting. Congratulations. Yeah. Okay, ladies, does anyone have any questions? I can't see all y'all's faces, so no. Okay, I just want to thank y'all so much again for carving out time in your day just to be here and to listen. And I hope that you learned something. I hope it's encouraging for you. And at the end of the day, just no matter what, regardless of whatever you choose to do or not do, whatever, just know that there is a community here that's praying for you and is so excited for you and just here to cuddle all your babies and stuff. And I want to say too, really quick, that if you are thinking about possibly wanting to try any of the products, but you're worried about the cost, that was me. I could not afford this if it was not for being able just to share with other people and help them on their own struggles. And that's what this business is just helping people. And so just know that in the back of your mind, if you're thinking, man, I really want to try this, but I'm so worried about the price tag, that there are options for you and that you can get it where it's paid for every single month. And it is not you selling your soul to some company. So, but any last call for questions? Okay. Thank y'all so much for being here. I hope everyone has a good evening.
Bye.
Congrats, Haley.